exercises from Kentwood Senior High School. Gentlemen, please remove their hats and remain standing while we have the presentation of the colors, the Marine Corps Junior ROTC Color Guard, playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, friends, faculty, and family.
This evening means something a little bit different to everybody here.
For parents, it might mean that it is time to start paying through the nose for their son's or daughter's education.
Or for the students, it's a day of rejoicing, yet a day of remembrance.
Time to sit back and ponder all the wild and crazy or stupid things that you did through your years in school.
Who could forget that fateful first day of kindergarten?
The day we all waited in anticipation for. Watched all the big kids go to school and wished we could do the same.
How naive we were.
Then came the big day.
The day we started the long climb up the 13-rung ladder of public education.
If we look at our educational experience, we can divide it into 4 distinct preparational periods.
Kindergarten was the preparation for first through sixth grade.
Grade school, a preparation for junior high, which was a preparation for high school.
Which was something we aren't quite sure what it prepared us for.
Now, if you think about it, we could have made this process a whole lot easier if we had just stopped after kindergarten. Because it's obvious that we learned everything we ever need to know about life in kindergarten.
Always raise your hand before speaking.
Hold hands when crossing the street.
Use the buddy system.
Flush.
Wash your hands after using the restroom.
And don't come into this house until you get rid of that reptile.
But just for the sheer love of knowledge and freezing classrooms, we have forced ourselves to move on into grade school.
First through 5th grades were the prepubescent preparational periods.
Where we learned that boys had Voyagers and Girls had girl terms.
And you had to run around the playground screaming whenever a member of the opposite sex touched you, and you hunt for a prime candidate to pass on the germs.
Oh, of course we learned a few useful things like reading and writing, but nothing big.
Then came 6th grade, when you were the kings and queens of the grade school.
This was a period of intense worrying about boys and girls, and of course, junior high.
Think back to 6th and 7th grades. Does this scene sound familiar?
Hey, Joe, do you know that new guy? Jim?
Yeah, what about him?
Well, I really think he's kind of cute.
Well, I never really took the time to look.
He's got, like, such an awesome bod. So nice.
So why don't you talk to him?
Oh, I couldn't.
Oh, why not?
Well, I have to know if he likes me first. Hey, could you do me a super big favor and call him and kind of ask if he likes me? Please, oh, please, don't tell him that I told you to call. And then call me back and tell me what he says, okay?
Oh, I suppose, but you owe me one.
This is a time when you couldn't talk to that special someone without making at least 4 phone calls to 4 different friends, and asking each one of those friends to call that special someone and ask them a series of questions, and then call you back to tell you everything that special someone told them.
8th grade was just a time to go to class and hang out at Thursday night dances from 7 to 9.
Freshman year was that jump into high school work, but we were stuck in the junior high atmosphere.
We were once again rulers of the school, but not for long. We quickly turned into sophomores. High school, the peak of our educational career, and we started out as sophomores.
Bottom of the heap.
Scum of the earth.
Which is what the seniors affectionately called us if they remembered to acknowledge our presence at all.
But when the seniors found a spare moment to speak to us, they tried to sell us elevator passes to get to the pool on top of the theater.
Every sophomore during registration runs the longest line in the cafeteria, driver's ed.
Because we all know a sophomore without a driver's license is one step above the slime trail of a slug on the dating scale.
If you were a sophomore male without your driver's license, you were destined to a dateless life of riding the bus until you got your license.
If you were a female, the dating world was a little better.
First choice for a possible date for a sophomore girl would be a senior with a cool car. But if they had 4 wheels and ran, it was cool. Second was a junior, and third was a sophomore with the license. And lastly, the busters.
The mommy and daddy daters. Who really wants to be sitting at Alfie's after we've just trounced the other team in the big homecoming game, chatting and eating pizza with some big senior, and having mom and dad walk in and innocently ask,
Oh dear, are you ready to leave now?
fate worse than death.
After the initial troubles of juggling homework and the social life, sophomore year quickly passed into junior year.
And life seemed a little better.
Academically, junior year was the worst.
And nothing exciting ever happened. But we enthusiastically looked forward to our senior year when we could enroll in classes like underwater beanie stacking
And cottage cheese sculpting.
Registration day arrived, and the seniors registered first, which meant we had to get up the earliest.
But at least we didn't have to look good because we didn't have to have our pictures taken that morning.
We walked in the familiar cafeteria, and reality set in.
We had to take U.S. history and an English credit at the same time.
Even worse, we had to pass both in order to graduate.
So thus, we tortured ourselves for 1 more year of grueling classes.
But the year was not without its small victories and happy moments. How many of you had friends at Puyallup High School?
And how many of you waved innocently goodbye to those poor sophomores and juniors as they left senior parking lot for the very last time?
And it's always nice to know that senior ball was held someplace other than the cafeteria.
As we look back at our years at Kentwood, it all seems like it went by so fast, and yet it took an eternity.
And here we are. Today was our last official day of high school.
Now that we are at the end of our required time at school, we must ponder, what is to come next?
Education,
Travel?
work,
What will we do after the pomp and circumstances echoed its last chord, and The chairs are all stacked, and the lights are dim.
We party. But seriously, when you finally get out of bed tomorrow morning, there might be a sign staring you in the face that says, "You have just entered the real world."
But if the world is not as scary as it might seem,
Hopefully our teachers have done their jobs to prepare us to the best of their ability for what lies ahead.
each of us must now realize that there are no required courses in life.
What we do from here on out is up to us, whether it be Stanford,
Green River,
work,
Tech,
marriage.
or a job. Whatever it is, we must always remember to live life the way you want it the first time around, because there are no second chances.
Life is not a dress rehearsal. We can't go back and revise those things that weren't done correctly the first time.
A poem written by an anonymous dying man emphasizes this point. I'd pick more daisies. If I had my life to live again, I'd make more mistakes next time. I would be sillier than I have this trip. I would relax. I would limber up. I know very few things that I would take seriously. I would be crazier. I would be less hygienic. And I would take more chances. I would take more trips. I would climb more mountains, swim more rivers, and watch more sunsets. I would burn more gasoline despite the fat. I would eat more ice cream and less beans. I would have more actual troubles and fewer imaginary ones. You see, I'm one of those people who have lived safely and sensibly and sanely, hour after hour, day after day. Oh, I've had my moments. But if I had to do it all over again, I'd have more of them. In fact, I try to have nothing else. Just moments. One after another. Instead of living so many years ahead. I have been one of those people who never goes anywhere without a thermometer, hot water bottle, a gargle, a raincoat, and a parachute. And if I had to do it all over again, I would go places and travel nicer than I have. If I had my life to live over again, I would start barefoot earlier in the spring and stay that way till later in the fall. I would play more hooky. I would ride more merry-go-rounds. I would pick more daisies if I had my life to live over again. But, you see, I don't.
Your ultimate success in life is only limited by the boundaries you place on your own imagination and dreams.
You can't measure your success by the things you did or didn't do in high school, whether they were good or bad.
We are all starting over, and we have the ability to achieve success. It is now just a matter of how much desire you have to attain it.
As stated in Proverbs 22:1, a good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver and gold.
And in 2 Corinthians 13:11, finally, friends, goodbye. Aim for perfection. Listen to my appeal. Be of one mind. Live in peace.
Thank you.
Members of the class 1989, parents, friends, and honored guests, as principal, it is both my honor and privilege to present the students here assembled and to recognize their many awards and accomplishments. Assisting with the ceremony this evening are Mrs. Sandy Collins, member of the Kent School Board, Dr. George E. Daniels, superintendent, Dr. Elaine Collins, assistant superintendent for the Kentwood area, Mrs. Judy Parker, assistant to the superintendent for school and community relations, and Mrs. Sherry Jensen, assistant to the superintendent for personnel. The class of 1989 is composed of 379 individuals. Some interesting statistics on this group. 201 of the number, or 53%, female, 178 or 47% are male. 150 of this graduated, that is 40%, completed their total education in the Kent School District. 20% completed all high school or some high school in Kentwood. That is, they moved into the Kent School District sometime in their career. We believe this is a major indicator of the growth that's been sustained in the Kent community. 40% of your class moved into the district and attended school. To begin the ceremony, I would like to review some individual honors. The printed programs, I refer you to it, the list of graduates, contains a listing of all graduates as well as members of the National Honor Society, which are designated by an asterisk. Would the members of that Honor Society please stand and remain standing? We have a number of students who have received the Washington State Honors Award. That is the top 10% of students in the state scoring on the Washington Pre-College test combined with a high grade point average in core academic classes. Those individuals are also listed with a pound sign. Would they please stand at this time as well? Some are all registered. Thank you. This year our school has been enriched by the presence of 5 foreign exchange students. These individuals please rise and be recognized as I call their name if they are in attendance. First, Hikari Arai, Japan. Mia Arai, Japan. Wolfgang Voss, Germany. Maria Donovan, Sweden, and Ragnar Kortner, Norway. Each instructional department within the school has selected outstanding students for special recognition. Would these students please rise as their name is called and remain standing? These are honors that we're here for and known. So these are the 1989 Department Award winners. In art, Eric Piedlo, Camille Dillard. In athletics, Garrett Herrick and Shelley Herman. Business, Derek Mortensen, Debbie Norman. English, David Bomar and Keitra Kumar. Foreign language, Lisa Tesh, Dana Van Ness. Home and family, Brad Kaiser, Sheila Phillips. Mathematics, Brian Smith and Erica Pearson. Music, Carl Olson and Dawn Allen. Occupational education, Ernie Alvarez, Carolyn Enos. Physical education, John Sturginger and Sarah Lees. Science, Matt Anglin, Ellis Kim. Social studies, Sean Smith and Leslie Barrett. Special education, Art and Lee. Congratulations. The Kentwood Booster Club has been a driving force, inspirational force for this school since its foundation. This evening, Mr. James Jandel, president of the club, will now present the Booster Club scholarships. Mr. Jandel, please come forward. When your name is announced, would you please stand and be recognized?
Good evening. It's my pleasure tonight to announce the recipients of the Kentwood Booster Club Scholarship for 1989. Scholarships will be awarded to graduating seniors what is obviously the best class to ever graduate from Kentwood High School. Of course, the fact that I happen to have a senior in high school doesn't have any influence on it. This year, the Booster Club is awarding 4 $500 scholarships. 2 are for scholastic achievements and 2 are for athletic achievements. As George already said, when the winners are announced, they don't have to come up, but please stand when your name is called to be recognized. The recipients of the 2 academic scholarships are Brian Smith and Stephanie Cochran. And the recipients of the 2 athletic scholarships are Shelley Herman and Aaron Aaron. Congratulations to the scholarship winners and from the Kentwood Booster Club, many hopes for a successful and happy future with the class of 1939. Thank you.
Second award is the Faculty Cup, person selected by the class, Teacher of the Year. Dr. Daniel, will you please come forward and make this presentation? And the winner, Cheryl Bowles, please.
Well, I think I'm with you, Matt. I really don't know what to say. But I do feel really honored tonight because the Kentwood staff is made up of a really fine group of individuals who go far beyond their job descriptions in meeting the needs of students. I also want to let the students know, you seniors, that the reason we love our jobs is because we really do love and care about each and every one of you. Good luck to you all, and may God bless and keep you in His care.
We have some special recognition for 2 outstanding persons. I'd like them to come forward, stand on the stage. Mr. David Lutz, please come forward. Mr. Vic Moses, please come forward. First recognition is David Lutz, educational assistant, head football coach, physical education teacher. Recognition of his values, integrity, and steadfastness. Secondly, to Mr. Mick Moses, music teacher. Mr. Moses, leaving Kentwood this year to teach at the elementary school level. It will be a fortunate school to receive him. Moses has given unselfishly of himself the past 8 years in this school. Prior to that, 7 years at Kentwood High School. He always has maintained a high professional personal standard. We miss him, we wish him well. We appreciate having a man such as David Lutz in our faculty. Would you please join me in recognizing the class. Tradition, Kentwood dedication is a banner. Like Corey Burns, please come forward for the student body president this year. And I'd like Alan Casey, the incoming student body president for next year, please. This class will be presented. Banner running to the incoming class, sophomores this fall, by Mr. Casey, the class president. You can believe it, the class of 1992.
Supported the values that we stand for as both the school and the graduating class of 1989. As a way of expressing our gratitude and reinforcing the value of a caring spirit, each senior tonight will present $1 to Dr. Wilson. This money will be donated in the class of 1989. The money will be donated to the little boy in Tacoma who was sexually assaulted. The boxes will also be out in the commons for any additional contributions that will be made. Thanks, seniors, for caring so much. In conclusion, I'd like to express my appreciation to the parents, relatives, and friends of the graduates who've been so supportive of our school, the Kent School District, over these many years. Also, a final note of thanks to the class advisors, to Ms. Bowes, for their tireless efforts, organizational skills, and arranging class activities. I say this with full meaning in my heart. This is a class with class. Now have rewarding diplomas. I accept this class as having met all of the requirements for the high school diploma in the state of Washington. And to the class with class, best of luck in the future. May all your dreams come true.
We will now have the awarding of diplomas.
Charles Andre Cordi. Dean Maureen Peters. Gabby Renee Miller.
I understand the exuberance. It's fine. We'll do that. Switch the tap. Right now, a lot of the parents can't hear their graduate's name being called. I understand the enthusiasm. Senior tassel, that is all.